RRT Boxing, ready, talk boxing. We're doing a post fight card review for the August 19th top rank on ESPN with the headliner of the undisputed Terrence Crawford versus Julius Ndongo. First off, this fight card was matched up for everyone who was supposed to win convincingly. I feel these fights. Uh, that's how this card went. I didn't feel there was any threat to anyone on this card. Not even Crawford and Dongo. Some might say, but film studying and watching, there was no threat on any of these cards, any of these fight on these cards here. Shakur Stevenson got a 6-round unanimous decision over David Paz. Shakur did what he was supposed to do. He was very patient. He looked good with a lot of body jabs. Occasionally a hook to the body here and there, but nothing upstairs. He did drop Michael Paz, David Michael Paz. Keep calling him Diego. I gotta change that in the video. He was a little off balance. He didn't show quite finishing with grit. He's a patient guy. I think Paz only landed like 17 punches out of 6 rounds. So like I said, nothing really much there. Then you got Steve Nelson coming in like a Hannibal Lecter. He got a 6-round decision. You could clearly see he was a more superior fighter. Ruiz didn't do nothing to really challenge that fight. Nelson was able to jab him all day, do whatever he wanted. He was a bigger man. He looked solid. Then you got Kevin Ventura versus Baltazar Ramirez. I think this overall this is probably the best fight on the card. These two guys went at it for how long it did last, and finally Ventura was able just to break him down. Got him with some body shots, I believe. I forgot what it was. I can't quite remember. Cause that was the first fight I came home from work, and that's the first fight I caught on the stream, the ESPN app stream, that is. And then I didn't see the Brian Jennings or the Dylan White on the ESPN app stream, so I don't know if I missed them or over here in America they just didn't show. I don't know. Like I said, I got home from work and the first fight I saw was Ventura, but I was able to see the Dylan White fight thanks to the YouTube World Nation. Dylan White looked good, even though he was in there with someone who should not have been in with his caliber. He looked good. He showed good footwork. He showed patience. He showed a lovely body stab jab. He showed. I like how he had Tan hurt, but he still went back to the body. But and also I like how he set up his work. First round, it was all just get Malcolm to lower his hands with a nice body stab jab. Left hand, stab. And then round 2 came out doing a left hand stab jab, and overhand right. He was looking really good. Dylan White looked good. His physique looked better than what I normally see. He didn't look as loose. He looked good on his feet. His power seemed good. But like I said, it was competition-wise, it was just completely lopsided. Mike Alvarado versus Sidney Sequeira. This was almost an upset. This is Mike Alvarado's 4th comeback against after quitting on the stool. I think it was against Rios. First 2 rounds, he was getting outpointed just off pure hustle by the 40-year-old. And in round 3, Sidney kind of tired out a little bit. Mike Alvarado landed maybe like 3 good, decent shots, a jab, a body hook here and there. And then round 4 here, Mike Alvarado just knocked him out. Sidney got gassed, and the punches just starts he started feeling the punches a little more. But still, that was almost an upset. that was not a good fight there. It was good to watch, but for Mike Alvarado camp, it was not a good fight. Mike Reed versus Robert Frankel. got a unanimous decision in a 10-round fight. Mike Reed is 22-0. He beat the brakes off Robert Frankel, clinic-wise. Threw almost every punch at him in the book, but he just couldn't finish him. He has a weird fighting stance where it just, I don't know if it's his fighting stance that just makes him not able to deliver more than like 2 punches at a time. But every fight I've seen from Mike, just like the last night's fight was the third fight I've seen of him, and every fight is just always the same. He looks the same, and his coaches and his fathers always telling him, like, dude, you need to do more. You need to do more. And that's just, people's Top Rank was trying to say it's tough love, but every fight that's telling him do more, do more. You're not like it's, you. We get it. You could do the clinic stuff now. Put some power on it and put people out. How you gonna prove you are this top prospect when all you're doing is, getting these decisions victories? So overall, it was a Frankel. Like I said, in the film studies I did, I was mad because I wanted to do a film study on this fight. So I took all the notes down. I watched all the fights. I just forgot to make the video, and I kept trying to say if Frankel could be first, he will win this fight because he has the movement, and I don't believe Mike Reed throws enough out. He doesn't has that output to handle someone coming at him. And I thought Frankel would pull off an upset in here, but he had to be first, and he wasn't first at all. So he just took a clinically beating for 10 rounds. These are the type of fights I could understand when someone says, hey, stop it for a fighter's safety, but at the same time you can't stop it because Frankel was fighting back. And then you got Alexander Gosnick versus Craig Baker, 6-round TKO. Greg Baker, 17-1, going into the fight. Now he's about 17-1 going into the fight. Got knocked out in the 6th. I predicted something around those lines. I don't know if I said 4 rounds or 6 rounds, but I said it's gonna end with the right hand stopping Craig Baker, and sure enough, it did. It was just Alexander came out with his pity pat style, scoring a lot of points. And you could see, what worried me was, you could see how much a different caliber fighter Gosnick and Baker are. But just the constant pressure. It wasn't even throwing punches, just walking them down was tiring Alexander out. The fact that he's throwing so many pity pat punches, using all this energy, and then trying to avoid, he was getting heavily sweaty. His face was changing, his breathing. So I think he turned it on in the 6th round because he probably had like two more rounds before he dipped in, and he would probably have to wait till like the 10th round to get that second win. So it was either then or never. Well, I can't say never. I think he would have got him out eventually, but it was either then or take some unnecessary risks and losing in the next like 3, 2, 7, 8, and 9 round. And I think the corner saw the same thing. Like, dude, you're tiring. Get this dude out right now, because Baker was starting to get confidence. He was starting to land more jabs. He was starting to walk him down even more convincingly. Like I said, it was just a lot of pity pat punching from Alexander until the nail. Excited to put that nail in the coffin, baby. Double RT Boxing. Mr. A, please support, please subscribe, and give a thumbs up. Leave a comments down below. I like talking to you guys, so leave some comments. This channel one day is going to grow into a TV show, and we all, regardless of who we like and what we got to say on each other's favorite fighters, would we not love to see a boxing TV show? And I interview anybody, so no bias on who's on the show. And then the main event was Terrence Crawford versus Julius Ndongo. And you go watch my breakdown prediction video. I said once he figured out Ndongo's length and that hypnotizing hoppity rhythm, he's going to beat the dog shit out of Ndongo. I didn't think this fight was going to be competitive at all. I just thought it'd be a more fill-out rounds. And the only reason that fight ended the way it did is because Ndongo just happened to come with some aggressive exchanges, and he just forced he forced Bud into exchanging with him. They each missed a hook. Then Crawford just landed a left hook to the body. You know, it wasn't a planned exchange on the behalf of Crawford. Even though Crawford was doing some excellent patient countering. I said the whole time, I'm all, Ndongo reaches too much. He's going to reach, and Crawford's going to tag him. Whether it's the head, the body, he reaches too much, and sure enough, that's what happened. He overreached, and booyah, right to the body. So that was an overall of all these fights. Now, if I just want to just put the fights that was on TV, Shakur, Alexander, and Crawford, I give those 3 fights. I give this fight card probably about a. Like I said, I'm not going to take. Like I said, there's a lot of belts on those lines in those 3 fights. Two of those fights were title fights. So do you want to rank that? Do you want to give the Undisputed a little more oomph, or do you just want to judge it on the fight itself? No belts. So I'm just going to judge it. If you want to say on the belts, then fine. I would say the Undisputed held a lot of weight. The NABO and the NABF on the Alexander fight, it made some noise in the light heavyweight. So I guess you could say, then with Shakur, I guess a B minus. But take away the belts, those fights probably was like a C. And then you add in the rest of the streaming cards, the Brian Jennings, the Dylan Whites, the Mike Reed versus the Robert Frankel, Sidney Securia versus Alvarado. Add all that in. This is a weak card. It's very one lopsided. You know, no one, like I said, no one had a threat to them. It's probably like a D minus. It's a really weak card. There's a lot of it, but it's just non-competitive. That's just what I think. D minus on this card overall, and then like a C minus for the televised events. This is Mr. A. Leave a comment down below. What do you think of this card? Am I too cruel? Am I not giving enough credit? This is Mr. A. Please subscribe. I love and appreciate all the ones who do watch my channel. Show the support. You can see that you do watch this channel. I don't get a lot of views, but with the ones I do get, thanks a lot, guys. Mr. A is out.